Welcome, believers. Welcome, conspiracy theories. Welcome to the UK UFO hotspot map, or as I like to call it, the map of weirdness. Now, so today, like normal, I will tell you 6 police sightings from around the country to add to the map. All right. So we are talking the southern area. All right, and we are talking the northern area. Okay, so northern area. Southern area. Okay, six stories to add to the map. Now, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you can. All right, and I will keep you up with the map updates. It's called UFO, Aliens and Weird Stuff, right? Like, subscribe and ding that notification bell if you like. And hit the thumbs up button. Apparently it's really important because then I'll start to get more content out there because people like it, right? So the first sighting we're going to talk about today is number 52. All right, and number 52 is down here, right? Just there, just above Skegness. All right, so it's on the north side of the map. Now, it's quite an interesting one. It started in the late evening, 10th and 11th, 1969. Now, it was Withensea, North Lincolnshire, all right, as I say, just up above from Skegness. A couple observed a triangular-shaped UFO as it flew low over the sky near the above location, right? So quickly, right, so there's a couple driving their car and they have seen a triangular-shaped UFO fly low over the sky, right? The object moved closer to the vehicle they were in, so it frightened them so much that they contacted the local police and were informed, right, that a police officer had also witnessed the same thing. Now, the information was confirmed by Chief Inspector Barraclough of Withensea Police, who also went on to say that checks had been made and that no aircraft had been in the area at the time of the reported sighting. Now, that's UFO classification, nocturnal lights, on-duty sighting, right? That involves one officer. But the interesting thing is, it was a triangular-shaped UFO. Right now, really, the first time I've reported triangular-shaped UFOs, really, as far as I know, and I might be wrong, was the Belgian wave in the 80s. And also, if you look up there, the Brett Forest incident, all right? And that happened near Dudley in Wolverhampton, right? And it was called the Dorito sighting. All right, and the reason it was called the Dorito sighting is because they were shaped like Doritos, like triangular ships. But this one, 69. So maybe, as far as I know at the moment, it's the first time that we've had a triangular ship being seen in 69, all right? So it's quite an interesting story, right? And that was above Skegness, number 52, right? So number 53 is down here, all right? Just in Cheshire. Regretfully, you can't see it, but I will stick it up there, right? So number 53 was in Warrington, Cheshire, 12th of the 9th, 1969, early hours, right? A PC Sydney Edwards reported seeing a bright pulsating UFO over Warrington. Now, he described it as like a flickering star. The incident was also witnessed by an Inspector Alan Muchin, who described it as big and white with no shape at all, right? The object was seen to travel slowly across the sky with a jerky movement before suddenly vanishing from sight, all right? And that was a one officer, nocturnal light sighting, okay, 1969. Okay, so that's number 53, that's in Cheshire. Right, now number 54 is from Warrington. Number 54 is up here, look. Right, can you see it? Number 54, that's Stoke-on-Trent, right? Now, this was 1969. As I say, Stoke-on-Trent, Cheshire, a uniformed officer, a PC Trevor Blower, right, let me start this up again, right? A blower was driving a marked police vehicle when he was advised by radio to look for an unusual object heading in his direction, right? Now, moments later, he observed a V formation, and this story is fantastic, right? A V formation of 9 UFOs. There was no sound at all, and they moved at an exceptionally high speed. Now, the officer stated that the object had mother-of-pearl effect with colours swirling all around each other. It was a clear night with little cloud cover. Now, he reported his sightings over the radio and heard another officer saying that he too had witnessed the lights, a V-shaped formation with 9 UFOs. The next day, he attended Llkley police station with another 5 officers who had witnessed the formation. Right? That's a great story, isn't it? Each independently gave their description to a civilian male. Now, senior police officers later advised all the men to keep quiet about the incident. Hey, a cover-up. You know, it's got to make you think, right? Why would a police officer be told to shut up? All right, so I've got to do this sign, right? Every time I do this sign, the OK sign, my little, whatever you call it, you see this thing that follows me around? It restarts itself. So that is why I'm doing the sign. I'm doing that to make that work, make my camera work, right? So the next one, all right, happened in 1970, right? So what was that? 54, 55, Hampstead, London, right? Hampstead, London is there. I don't know if you can see it, right? It's just there. Let me move this thing. There it is, Hampstead, London, number 55. Happened at 4 o'clock in the morning. 2 Metropolitan Uniformed Police officers, one of whom was PC Bishop, observed a bright light while driving on Lyndhurst Road. Now, the object was seen only briefly before disappearing from view. They continued to drive in the area until they saw 3 separate lights low in the sky, having turned on to never, I'm going to say this, Never Hall Gardens in Hampstead. 2 of the lights were ahead of a third one that seemed to be lagging behind the other. Now, the officers stopped their vehicle to get a better look, right? So they stopped the vehicle to get a better look at the object. After 30 seconds and against a clear sky, each of the lights in turn disappeared from view, as if they'd gone behind an invisible screen. Interesting, right? The objects were travelling at an altitude of 1 to 500 feet when first seen, and at 2,500 feet by the time they vanished. The duration of the sighting was 1 to 2 minutes, and it was a warm night with little cloud covering. Right, so quickly recap on that. So these policemen seen 3 lights that simply disappeared, right? As if they were like cloaked or something. We don't know, do we, right? Now, the next one is number 56. As I say, I'm going to tell 6 stories to add to the map, right? And this one is in Tyneside. Just there. Can you see it, right? Can you see it? Just there, Tyneside. Very close to another incident. All right, so as you say, look, number 40 was there. Number 56 is its neighbour. So there's 2 sightings in that area now, isn't there? Right, so number 56 was Tyneside. A uniformed police constable, I'll get this going. A uniformed police constable based at Tynemouth Police was driving a marked panda car along Tynemouth Road when he noticed a bright circular disc hovering in the sky above Knott's Flat. A circular disc, right? The officer pulled over the vehicle into Oxford Street car park to get out and take a better look at the object. He observed it for about 5 minutes. Now that's a long time, as it hovered over the flats before suddenly rising into the air vertically at a tremendous burst of acceleration and then out of sight. Right, so that is a great story, right? So this cop has seen a disc, your typical UFO, right? And it shot vertically up in the air and disappeared. Right, so that is number 56, Tyneside. Right, now Tyneside is very, if I can show you, but you probably can't, but right, so Tyneside is very close to the sea. Now all these reportings, all these sightings tend to be close to the close. It's just something, isn't it? I don't know what that means. Is it, are they aquatic? Do they have an underwater base? We just don't know, do we, right? Now, number 57, the last story, is in Banbury, Oxfordshire, and again, very close to another sighting, right? So Banbury, Oxfordshire's there. Okay, there it is, Banbury, Oxfordshire, right? So, an on-duty uniformed police officer, a PC Berry Jackson, accompanied by a cadet, a William Byron, spotted an orange-coloured UFO moving across a moonlit star-filled sky near to Bratch Hill, Banbury. Now, they say it was the size of a golf ball, and it was seen for 3 seconds before it moved downwards to the ground at a 45-degree angle. Now, numerous members of the public also reported the sighting of this object, and all the reports were collected by Banbury Police and submitted to the Ministry of Defence. So now, right, so what do you think, right? So that was submitted to the Military Defence, but I don't know any more about it. I don't know if the military reported back or said it was a plane or something like that. I really don't know. But that is our last police sighting for today until we get to our main story, right? So our main story is one of the most unique accounts of alien abductions to come to us from Llkley Moor in Yorkshire, England. And I will tell you the story about it. Well, now on to our main story then, the Llkley Moor incident, right? Now, one of the most unique accounts of alien abduction comes to us from Llkley Moor in Yorkshire, England, not far from where the Alan Godfrey case was of 1980. Again, another policeman. Now, the witness and subject of this case is a former copper named Philip Spencer. Now, Spencer claims that in the early morning of December the 1st, 1987, 8 years after Godfrey's case, he was taken aboard an unidentified flying craft, and after his release managed to snap a picture of one of the alien beings. Now, the Llkley Moor is very much as you would picture it, alright, reminiscent of the settings of the moors of Baskerville Hall in Conan's The Hound of the Baskervilles. It's an eerie place, and it has been said the Llkley Moor can scare you to death during daylight, and at night it's even worse. It is a place of mystery, right? There is the swastika stone, right? There's boulders etched with strange markings. They're called the Badger Stone. And the 12 apocalyptic stone circle. Personally, I've never seen any of those. All right, so many times the only living creature on the moors are the sheep. Llkley has other legends too, like the hovering lights at night, which bring occasional reports of UFOs. There are strange swirling lights that are filtered through the fog and seem to have a mind of their own. Now, possibly some of the mysterious lights can be attributed to the not too distant Menwith Hill military base or the nearby Leeds Bradford Airport. Okay, yeah, well, I get that. Okay, I mean, you have got to consider that. But the activities of these two facilities will not, however, explain what happened to Spencer. There were also stories of strange creatures that roam across the moor at times. And when you get isolated places like this, there are always rumours like that, aren't they, right? Now, after 4 years of being a policeman in another city, Spencer had moved his wife and child to the Yorkshire area to be closer to her family. Now, he was walking across the moor on this December morning, heading for his father-in-law's house. On the way, he was hoping to get some photographs of the strange light tricks of the moors, right? So to be able to do that, he desired he was using a high ASA rated film to compensate for the poor lights in the area. Now, unfortunately, the picture he took was somewhat blurred, and I will put it there. But there is no doubt that the creature in the photo is one of a kind being which basically resembles the small greys. Don't know what you think about it, right? Now, along with his camera, Spencer also took a compass to navigate through the fog before sufficient daylight shone through the moor, right, so he didn't get lost. Now, as he was searching for some photo angles, suddenly he caught the sight of a strange looking being in the slopes ahead of him, right? So he aimed and snapped a picture of the creature, which seemed to be gesturing for him to go away. It then ran away, basically. Now, Spencer gathered his wits and took off in pursuit of the being. And even today, he says he doesn't know why. It was just an impulsive reaction to run after the creature. Now, he arrived in time to get a glimpse of a flying craft with a dome top rise up from the moor and disappear into the sky. Now, atop the dome was a whitish square. He was not
able to get a photograph of the object, right? Now, I do get that because I have genuinely seen something weird myself. And first of all, you're a little bit shocked. And your brain's going, is that really what I'm seeing? You know, your first reaction is not to grab your phone. What's a shame? Because I would like to have videoed what I saw, right? Now, Llkley Moor, so when he saw nothing else of the being or its craft, right, he began to walk to the nearest village. This walk took about 30 minutes, and during this time, a couple of things became apparent to him, right? First of all, his compass now pointed south instead of north, so there must have had some sort of magnetic effect. And secondly, the village clock showed the time an hour ahead of his. Now, Spencer was confused now. Did he see what he thought he saw? You know, because you would think that, wouldn't you, right? Now, to answer this burning question, he headed by bus to the nearest town with an instant film development shop. Sure enough, he had a picture of the creature, and it looked to be about 4 foot tall and had a blue-green tint to its skin. He knew he had found something of importance, or at least he thought he did, so he found the proper channels to contact UFO investigator Peter Howe. Right? Now, if I can find Peter Howe's picture, I'll put it there, right? Now, Howe knew what he was hearing was well, let's call it a too good to be true case, and it worried him. But after meeting Spencer, he was convinced that the man had a bit of integrity and was not seeking fame or fortune for his picture. There was no reason to not believe what Spencer had told him. Now, Howe began a thorough investigation. The film with the alien picture will be the first thing to undergo professional scrutiny. And I will put the picture back, right? Now, the alien picture was first looked at by a wildlife photographer expert. The object in the image was not an animal of any known kind. It could not be determined either if the figure was animated or static. A reconstruction of the original site did establish the alien's height at or around 4 to 4.5 feet. Right? So the photograph was next sent to Kodak Laboratories in Hemel Hempstead. An analysis showed that the object was indeed part of the original photo and not superimposed. The conclusion did not, of course, determine what the creature was. Right? So the photograph was sent to Kodak, and an analyst showed that the object was indeed part of the original photo. So that object, that alien creature, whatever we call it, was part of the original photo. All right. Next, the picture was sent to the United States for computer enhancement and analysis by Dr. Bruce Maccabee. Okay, he's an optical physicist with the United States Navy, rendered his expert opinion, right? Now, he stated that the slow film speeds used for the low light conditions made the film too grainy for proper testing. He said, I had great hopes that this case would prove definitively, right? Sadly, circumstances prevented it from being so, Maccabee stated. So when he got the film, because of the low light, because I'm not a photographer, right? And the graininess, he couldn't make an assumption. Now, something strange was noticed in the picture. Appearing on the hill at exactly the spot where Spencer says the UFO was, is a white square. Could it be that he had gotten a part of the UFO in the shot unknowingly? Because he wasn't sure, basically. So, look, what do you think then? The abduction of the Llkley Moor abduction, right? It doesn't go into great detail, I'll give it that, right? He did lose an hour, but he didn't go under hypnosis or anything like that. But we have got the photo, all right? So we will put it on the map, all right? Can't pronounce, is it Llkley or Llkley? We'll call it Llkley Moor abduction case, just there, right? So what do you think? You know, drop me a line if you know any more about the story. Please let me know. It will be interesting, right? So this was UFOs, aliens and weird stuff. Another welcome addition to the alien abduction map. If you've got any stories, drop me a line. You can do it on UFOs, aliens and weird stuff at outlook.com. The information is out there somewhere. Check my Facebook page if you want. I definitely know it's there. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.